back to the channel. It's been a long time. This shoe right here is something I've been keeping tabs on for a while, and it released the other day on Nike.com here in Scotland, and I decided that there was just no messing about. Picked it up, it arrived yesterday, and let's get straight into it. So this is the Jayson Tatum 1, welcome to the zoo, and this is the box right here. Really nice touch with the JT logo right over the top. It actually folds right over onto the bottom part, Jordan logo on the back, and you'll be able to see in the light there, there's like a pattern that's been put in there as well. Looks really nice when the light hits it. Again, it's meant to be like an animal print or something, and then we'll get JT's signature on the front. When we open the box up, we've got Jordan JT paper, and then the shoe itself. So when I received the shoe, it kind of took me by surprise a little bit in terms of the quality. Most Jordan brand shoes can be relatively expensive, from the 1 right through to the 37 we're on now. So yeah, they've kind of went up in price, but the Jordan models for the athletes, signature shoes, they're relatively well priced to start off with. The Luka one is a perfect example. However, this shoe, when I first saw it, I wasn't too sure about the colourway, I wasn't too sure about the actual shoe itself, but when it arrived and I took it out of the box yesterday, it was like I said, it was a pleasant surprise. The details on this shoe are excellent. The quality of this shoe, in my opinion, is really good for the price, and the tech that's in there is refreshing. I'm going to go over it. So to start off, we've got the traction. Now you can clearly see that this rubber area here on the forefoot translucent, and it sticks okay. I've tried it in the laminate downstairs, it feels okay. However, on the back half, it's really just the EVA foam. So they've done this to reduce weight, which is a nice touch. And this is apparently the lightest Jordan, performance Jordan that's ever been made. So it's you can see the direction they're going with this, and we'll get to the tech part of the forefoot shortly, but this is just another area that they've tried to save weight, and it works well. I wouldn't recommend using this outdoors because this is just foam back here. It's going to fray, it will get ripped to shreds, so definitely just keep this as an indoor shoe. But overall, this gap here, this perforation, you can see, oh sorry, the aperture should I say rather, into this zoom bag is exposing this TPU shank plate setup, and it's acting like a frame for the shoe. I've never really seen anything like it other than the previous Jordans where it was like the Eclipse plate, but this is a really nice kind of setup. So the EVA foam itself is nice, it's okay, it's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst. But when you move into this red plate area, it's really strange when you first put it on, but when you start moving, it makes total sense. So Tatum predominantly prefers to play on the forefoot. He's not a massive fan of any sort of cushion on the heel apparently, so that's why they've went for this very large zoom bag. So with the theme of reducing weight and trying to expose the comfort area of the forefoot, then they've went for this frame, which really does its job very well. Aesthetically, I think it's okay, but when you put the shoe on and you start walking around on it, then you can feel the difference right away in terms of, it's kind of tricky to explain. It's a bit strange because you're kind of gliding on your midfoot. There's nothing really there to give you like any support, like a shank or anything, so you're really relying on this frame. So torsional support is okay. It could be better, I suppose, but you can feel that zoom bag working right under your forefoot, and it feels really nice. So the frame part, when you flex your foot, does give you a bit of spring back as well, so that does help with propelling you forward. And overall, for a first debut shoe in terms of tooling, it feels nice, it feels quite good. And the zoom bag itself is zoom. We all know what that does, and it feels really nice underfoot, so I think it's a job well done in that element. Moving up to the materials, materials of it is sort of like a mesh material, and when the light hits it, it's kind of glistening in the light, so there must be like some sort of plastic through there or some sort of synthetic material to make it look like that. We've got this overlay over the top, which is for the laces to really give you that lockdown, and there's like an animal kind of tiger print through there, which is another detail in the shoe, which is really nice. And then the lockdown aspect of it, that really contributes, which I'll get to shortly. Moving on to the back, we've got again more animal print, but it's all embroidered, and that's really nice. And again, it's hard wearing, it's not just kind of printed on. So the embroidery aspect, they really kind of went all out to make sure that the quality of this shoe with the details is there. On the back, we've got JT's signature, a little kind of pull tab here, which, to be fair, I think this is probably the least best quality aspect, if you will, on the back tab. It just seems a bit kind of like wavy. It could have been maybe a wee bit of a thicker material. It's a shame really, because that's like the only thing that I would say would probably let it down. Not a massive problem, but it's just, you can clearly see it's a wee bit flimsy. Above that, we've got 0 for Tatum's number, and the strip that runs down the back, that's black patent leather. Well, probably synthetic, but it's black patent anyway. And I think, don't quote me, but I think this has got something to do with the Mustang PE that Tatum has. It's a gorgeous shoe. If I ever get a hold of that shoe, man, oh my god. So it's that area there, I believe, is what that is in reference to. And then moving up to the tongue, well, again, we've got that leopard print, a leopard print detailing. It's all embroidered in again. And then we've got JT's logo in gold stitching. Moving up to the ankle area. Now, this has been a mid. I'm not a massive fan of mids, but the padding around here is very soft. It's not overly thick, but it is well cushioned, and it doesn't seem to interfere too much on your ankle. This kind of rides up a little bit at the back, so this ankle area, it's not a low, but it definitely doesn't feel restricting in any way. So I was quite surprised by that, and it's definitely a plus point because I prefer a low basketball shoe. Now, the lockdown element is a bit that really surprised me in this shoe. Usually you have to really fight to get lockdown on the shoe, and this doesn't seem to be that way at all, and it's a combination of a couple of things. First of all, the laces are very, very good quality, and combine that with this area here with the overlay. When you pull the laces tight, the laces don't seem to slip, they don't seem to move in any way. And I noticed this where after I tied the laces up, had a little kind of run around the house as you do to test out traction, etc. When I untied the laces never moved at all. Like, they never slipped or anything. My foot was still locked in there, and it was a real fight to get the laces undone. So that was something I wasn't expecting, and it's a really, really nice touch on the shoe. Whether they meant that intentionally or it was accidental, I'm not sure, but it is really, really nice. Sizing, it runs big. Now, just looking at the general silhouette of this shoe, it kind of comes to a point here at the front. Now, usually I'm a size 8 UK in Nike shoes, Kobe 5 Pro Tros, KD 15s, KD 14s. Size 8 UK is my go-to shoe. However, when I put these on, I had a full thumb width of space at the front. Now, I've ordered a size 7.5 UK to compensate that. These materials are very thin, so I would recommend going down half a size. At the very least, you may even need to go a full size down. However, I would definitely say half a size down. The reason being is that the silhouette of the shoe on the top, it's not the widest of shoes, and this area here of the foam that wraps up there to give you some lateral containment works very well. But my concern is if you go too far down size wise, it might end up being that this is a little bit annoying. So that then leads me to my next point. When you look at this shoe from the top down, now Jordan himself is actually obsessed with how his shoes looked from the top down. So when he looked at it, he wanted to make sure it was visually pleasing aesthetically. This shoe here has one or two drawbacks. One I've mentioned is the back tab. The next one is this area here. I don't understand why this frame has came all the way around and stopped there, and then they've made it with a red pattern all the way around. Surely they could have continued this right round instead of it just joining right in the middle. That is definitely, for me, when I look at that, I find that to be a little bit of annoyance, but to be honest, like, it's not a major deal. But I do feel as if it's just like, almost, not as a half-arsed attempt, but I think they could have maybe done a better job with where that started, where it stopped. It could be around there for support purposes, I'm not entirely sure, but overall it's a very, very nice debut shoe for Jayson Tatum. There's plenty of colourways coming out. We've got the pink lemonade, which looks amazing. We've got the St. Louis colourway, and we've got the barbershop colourway. There was I think it was a taco colourway that came out for Paolo Banchero. I'm not entirely sure, but Tatum eventually got his pair. I think Paolo got his PE first, but when that releases, oh man, yeah, take my money. That's a really nice colourway. There's been other colours. There was a colourway for his mum. There was a colourway for his love of watches. There was the BAL colourway, which is the Basketball African League, and there's some. When you see it in different colourways, it really emphasises the colourway on the shoe, the details on the shoe. So it's going to be exciting where this goes. Again, I prefer to play on the front of my foot as well, so I really like how this is emphasising that area of the foot, and the Zoom bag is extremely comfortable. It's a great shoe, it's a great debut, and I think for the price that you're paying, it's definitely worthwhile exploring. Definitely going half a size down, and I'm going to be getting more colourways of these. I think I wasn't expecting this to be as good, and it's definitely worthwhile giving it a shot and maybe experiment with the sizes. I can only apologise for not having any videos up sooner. Been pretty hectic in my personal life, but I did go and see the Celtics versus the Lakers. I'm going to be doing a video on that soon, and I'm going to be uploading more videos shortly. So again, if you get any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Like the video, hit the like. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Again, thank you so much.